So I'm curious, whenever you began, did you know what your niche was going to be, or did you just kind of jump in and experiment?
I just jumped in. Truly, I want to figure out what I think about the world around me, and I need to talk to people to be able to do that. I had a hunch that talking to people who were sort of self-starters, or self-employed, was kind of a way to go. I know a few entrepreneurs, a lot of the filmmaking and video production community here in Edmonton. They're all entrepreneurs, so I kind of tended in that direction. But I mean, I talk to people that are career people, people who are employed by businesses. So I didn't know the niche, and that I'm not going to say I regret that because there's no point. But there was no rhyme or reason. Actually, there was no plan beyond just like recording episodes.
I think that's actually a good thing though, because it gives you the chance to, if you just start and you just like begin, then you can figure out what it is you even like to talk about. Because,
Right.
whenever you start with something like this, it's such a diverse medium where you can literally talk about anything. But the problem is a lot of us, if you were to ask anyone like, hey, if you were to start a podcast, what would it be on? You'd get a lot of I don't knows. And
Right.
so I think it's actually really cool that you didn't know what you wanted to do. So you just kind of jumped in and went for it.
Right. And that's what I would suggest to anybody who wants to do anything is that you don't, there's that paralysis by analysis thing where it's like, if I want to figure it all out and then do it, it's like, no, you should actually just do it and then figure it out as you go.
Yeah, for me, it was definitely imposter syndrome. Like
Yeah.
I did have the analysis paralysis too, but it was also imposter syndrome of are people going to find out I'm a fraud?
Oh, oh, that's interesting. Like you really didn't have anything to say and you had no business saying it or,
Well, like I knew what I wanted to talk about because like my own personal podcast is all about blogging.
oh,
And I've been blogging since 2009 and I went pro in 2011, but it was still is someone who's more successful than I am going to hear this podcast and be like, well, she doesn't know anything. She's not making six figures, that kind of stuff.
interesting. Yeah, that's a huge part of it. But again, it's like, well, so what? You as an individual have something to offer that no one else can, I believe.
I like that. I like that a lot. Okay, so one of the things you did say to me is you said I began the podcast as a way to figure out what I thought about the world around me and the issues of our time. I wanted to talk to people, entrepreneurs, artists, activists, political hopefuls, friends, and anyone. And you said you did that for 100 episodes in a single calendar year. Tell me about what your process looks like of how you go and you find your guests, how you record your episodes, how you edit your episodes. How does all that work for you?
I guess I'd say I'm blessed or I'm lucky to know a lot of interesting people. I didn't realize that until I started doing this. Like I easily made the list of the first 40 people just in one sitting. I easily thought of 40 people. I have a couple friends who did multiple episodes. So it wasn't 100 different people. I'd say it was maybe whatever, 75, 80 individual people. Um, so that was it. And a lot of people, when you tell them what it is like, I just want to sit down and talk to you. They're into it, and going through Zoom on a lot of them or like a Zoom call is like, it's very easy for people just to sit and talk like this. So there's no barrier that way. And then I think when you put it to them as like, well, you get to promote yourself and the show is kind of about you. I'm the host. That appeals to a lot of people, right? A chance to speak their mind, especially in a culture where everyone's just blabbing all the time. Give someone a space to blab and they're happy to do it. I found. And then as far as editing, there was very little editing. And that was kind of the beauty of the show is like, we press record, we talk until we're sick of each other, we press stop, and then that goes up as the episode. Well, I would do an intro at the start after the fact, but that was part of what allowed me to be so efficient was like very little effort.